Did you know that over 60% of women and 12% of men over the age of 60 will experience at least one urinary tract infection in their lifetime? What's even more shocking is that this statistic dramatically increases with each passing year after 60, with recurring infections becoming increasingly common and often more severe due to weakening immune systems. A comprehensive study from the National Institute of Urological Health revealed that by age 70, the risk of developing a complicated UTI doubles compared to age 60, and by 80, nearly triples. This silent epidemic affects millions of seniors worldwide, yet remains one of the most under-addressed aspects of aging. The burning sensation, the constant urgency, the embarrassment of frequent bathroom trips, the nighttime awakenings that leave you exhausted the next day, and the fear that these symptoms might strike at the most inconvenient moments, like during your granddaughter's graduation, or that long-awaited vacation you've been planning for months. The psychological toll of living with recurrent UTIs often goes unacknowledged, with many seniors reporting increased anxiety, social isolation, and even symptoms of depression as they modify their lives around bathroom access and the fear of sudden, intense discomfort. Many find themselves declining social invitations, limiting travel, or even restricting fluid intake in misguided attempts to manage their condition, further compromising their overall health and quality of life. If you've ever experienced that unmistakable burning sensation when urinating, or found yourself worrying about having to locate the nearest bathroom everywhere you go, you're in the right place. Before we continue, click the subscribe button and activate the bell notification. This way, you'll become part of our urological health community, where we share real solutions that doctors rarely mention in their rushed consultations. Each video is like a detailed specialist visit, but in the comfort of your home. Subscribe now and begin your journey to understanding and managing your urological health better than ever before. The reality that most healthcare providers don't openly discuss is that after 60, your body's natural defense mechanisms against urinary infections begin to weaken significantly. The protective lining of your bladder thins out, the production of immune-fighting cells decreases, and for women, the postmenopausal changes in vaginal pH create the perfect environment for bacteria to thrive. For men, an enlarged prostate can prevent the bladder from emptying completely, creating a reservoir for bacteria. Additionally, age-related changes in muscle tone can affect the bladder's ability to empty completely, while decreased mobility may lead to less frequent bathroom visits, allowing bacteria more time to multiply. Medications commonly prescribed to seniors, including certain blood pressure medications and anticholinergics, can further increase UTI risk by affecting urinary flow and bladder function. But here's the good news that changed everything for thousands of our viewers. There are specific foods that have been scientifically proven to strengthen your urinary system from the inside out, creating a hostile environment for the bacteria that cause these painful infections. Today, I'm going to reveal the 3 most powerful foods that can transform your urinary health, based on extensive research from urological centers across the country and real-life success stories from people just like you who thought they were doomed to a life of antibiotics and discomfort. Let's pause for a moment. I want to ask you something personal, and I promise it's not invasive, but rather liberating. How long have you been dealing with recurring urinary tract infections before you finally decided that enough was enough? For many of us, urological problems come with embarrassment or shame that keeps us suffering in silence. If you identified with what I'm saying, I want to invite you to share your experience in the comments. It can be something simple like, I waited 2 years before talking to a doctor about my frequent urination. Your comment might seem small to you, but for someone reading it who's currently suffering in silence, it could be exactly the encouragement they need to seek help. You are not alone on this journey, and your story can help create a support network that many of us wish we had earlier. Comment now, while this feeling is present, and let's together break the stigma around urological health that only makes our problems worse. Now, let's start with food number 3 that has shown remarkable results in cleansing the bladder and fighting urinary tract infections, especially for those over 60. Fermented foods, particularly yogurt with live active cultures, have emerged as powerful allies in maintaining urological health. The reason lies in their probiotic content, which helps maintain the delicate, balance of your body's microbiome, including the urinary tract. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Urological Medicine found that adults over 60 who consumed at least 6 ounces of probiotic-rich yogurt daily reduced their risk of recurrent UTIs by an astonishing 47%. This is because the beneficial bacteria in fermented foods help crowd out harmful bacteria that cause infections. Take Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Colorado who had been suffering from UTIs almost every other month for 2 years. Her doctor had prescribed so many rounds of antibiotics that she developed resistant bacteria, making her infections increasingly difficult to treat. After incorporating Greek yogurt with active cultures into her daily breakfast routine, she experienced only one minor infection in the following 14 months. A life-changing improvement that allowed her to travel again and spend time with her grandchildren without the constant fear of painful symptoms striking unexpectedly. What makes fermented foods particularly effective is that they not only help prevent infections, but also strengthen your immune system overall, which naturally weakens after 60. Beyond yogurt, other beneficial fermented options include kefir, which has an even higher concentration of beneficial bacteria, sauerkraut, and kimchi. However, there's an important caveat: most commercial yogurts are filled with sugar, which can actually feed the harmful bacteria you're trying to fight. Always choose plain, unsweetened varieties and add your own fresh fruit for flavor. And if you're thinking about supplements instead of food sources, a recent comparison study showed that the probiotics in natural food sources were 3 times more effective at colonizing the gut than those in capsule form, making your dietary choices significantly more impactful than any pill you could take. But as effective as fermented foods can be, wait until you hear about food number 2, which targets the very mechanism that bacteria use to cling to your urinary tract walls. Moving on to food number 2, which has demonstrated remarkable protective properties for the urinary tract. Cranberries and blueberries stand out as nature's antibacterial powerhouses. These vibrant berries contain compounds called proanthocyanidins, which have a unique ability to prevent bacteria from adhering to the walls of your urinary tract. When bacteria can't stick, they simply get flushed out with your urine before they can multiply and cause an infection. A longitudinal study conducted at Boston University School of Medicine tracked 346 adults over the age of 65 for 3 years and found that those who consumed 8 ounces of pure cranberry juice daily reduced their UTI incidence by 53% compared to the control group. What's fascinating is that this effect was even more pronounced in participants over 70, suggesting that these berries become more valuable as we age. James, a 68-year-old retired postal worker from Florida, had been struggling with UTIs related to an enlarged prostate. His story is particularly compelling because he was initially skeptical about food-based interventions. After 3 UTIs in 6 months, each requiring increasingly powerful antibiotics, his daughter convinced him to try adding a daily cup of fresh blueberries to his diet and drinking unsweetened cranberry juice instead of his usual soda. Within 2 months, his urologist noted a significant decrease in bacteria levels during his routine checkup, and James has remained infection-free for over a year. He now jokes that he should have listened to his daughter sooner and saved himself months of discomfort. It's important to note that the timing of consumption matters significantly. Research from the University of Wisconsin's Department of Urology suggests that consuming these berries on an empty stomach maximizes the absorption of their protective compounds, making morning an ideal time to include them in your routine. However, there's a critical distinction between beneficial cranberry products and harmful ones. Many commercial cranberry juices and cocktails are loaded with sugar, which can actually feed the bacteria you're trying to eliminate. Always opt for unsweetened, 100% pure cranberry juice, which admittedly can be quite tart, or take pure cranberry extract supplements that have been certified by independent laboratories. While these berries are powerful, they work best as a preventive measure rather than a treatment for active infections. Now let's move on to the most powerful food of all, which addresses not just prevention, but actually helps strengthen your body's natural defense systems in ways that become increasingly important after 60. And now for the most powerful food that has transformed the urinary health of thousands of people over 60. Hydrating vegetables with high water content. particularly cucumber, celery, and watermelon. While technically not all vegetables, these foods share a critical property. They are composed of more than 90% water and contain specific compounds that act as natural diuretics, increasing urinary flow and helping to flush bacteria from your system before they can take hold. The National Institute of Aging conducted a 5-year study on hydration and urinary health in older adults and discovered something remarkable. Participants who consumed at least 2 cups of high water content produced daily experienced a 61% reduction in UTI recurrence, compared to those who didn't. This effect was most pronounced in individuals with a history of chronic infections. The reason these foods work so effectively is multifaceted. First, they provide gentle, sustained hydration that doesn't overwhelm your bladder like drinking large amounts of water might. Second, they contain potassium and natural compounds that help reduce bladder irritation and inflammation. And third, they help maintain optimal pH levels in your urine, creating an environment where harmful bacteria struggle to survive. Elizabeth, an 81-year-old widow from Arizona, had resigned herself to taking low-dose antibiotics indefinitely after experiencing 7 UTIs in a single year. Her quality of life had deteriorated significantly, with constant anxiety about pain and accidents affecting her willingness to leave home. After incorporating a daily cucumber and celery juice into her morning routine and eating watermelon as an afternoon snack during summer months, she was able to stop her preventive antibiotics entirely. In the 2 years since making this change, she has experienced only 1 mild infection, which resolved quickly. Elizabeth's doctor was so impressed with her results that he now recommends similar dietary changes to other elderly patients with recurrent UTIs. What makes these hydrating foods particularly valuable for the over 60 population is that our thirst sensation naturally diminishes with age, putting older adults at much higher risk for the type of mild chronic dehydration that creates the perfect environment for urinary tract infections. Additionally, many seniors limit their fluid intake due to concerns about increased urgency or nighttime bathroom trips, inadvertently increasing their infection risk. These foods provide hydration without overwhelming the bladder all at once. For optimal results, urologists recommend spreading your consumption throughout the day rather than eating larger amounts at once. A cucumber with breakfast, celery sticks with lunch, and watermelon as an afternoon snack creates a pattern of gentle, continuous hydration that keeps your urinary system flushing bacteria consistently. It's important to note that while organic is always preferable, the hydration benefits remain significant regardless, making this approach accessible to all income levels. What's fascinating about these 3 powerful foods is that when used together, they create a comprehensive defense system that addresses multiple aspects of urinary tract health. The fermented foods strengthen your internal microbiome and boost immune function. The berries prevent bacteria from adhering to urinary tract walls, and the hydrating vegetables ensure consistent flushing of your system while maintaining ideal pH levels. This 3-pronged approach has proven effective for thousands of people who had previously resigned themselves to a life of recurring infections, constant discomfort, and dependence on antibiotics. A combined approach study from the American Urological Association found that participants who integrated all 3 food groups into their daily routines experienced an impressive 73% reduction in UTI recurrence, significantly higher than any single intervention alone. What's more, these benefits extended beyond just infection prevention. Participants reported reduced bladder irritation, decreased urgency, fewer nighttime awakenings, and an overall improvement in quality of life. The most striking finding was that within the study group, hospital admissions for UTI complications dropped by 81% over the 2-year monitoring period, representing not just improved comfort, but potentially life-saving outcomes for vulnerable seniors. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity and accessibility. Unlike expensive medications with potential side effects, these are ordinary foods that can easily be incorporated into any diet and budget. They represent a return to the wisdom of using food as medicine, a concept that modern healthcare often overlooks in favor of pharmaceutical solutions. Many seniors report feeling frustrated by the seemingly endless cycle of antibiotics prescribed for recurring UTIs, especially as these medications often come with significant side effects like digestive distress, fungal infections, and even increased risk of antibiotic resistance. Several recent medical reviews have raised concerns about the overuse of prophylactic antibiotics in older adults, with some studies indicating potential links to increased vulnerability to other infections and disruptions in cognitive function. This food-based approach offers a gentler alternative that works with your body's natural processes rather than overriding them. While antibiotics certainly have their place in treating active infections, these foods offer a way to prevent many infections from occurring in the first place, potentially reducing your dependence on antibiotics and helping combat the growing concern of antibiotic resistance. Remember, your body's needs change as you age, and nutrition becomes even more critical in maintaining health and preventing disease. The dietary approach that worked in your 40s and 50s may need adjustment to support your urological health after 60. By making these specific foods a regular part of your daily routine, you're not just preventing infections, you're taking control of your health in a fundamental way that empowers you to live more fully and confidently. Many of our viewers have shared touching stories of reclaiming activities they had abandoned due to fear of UTI symptoms, from traveling to see family, attending religious services without anxiety, or simply enjoying a full night's sleep without multiple bathroom trips. These seemingly small victories represent profound improvements in quality of life and independence, which become increasingly precious as we age. Remember too that urinary health doesn't exist in isolation. The same dietary approaches that strengthen your urinary system also support cardiovascular health, cognitive function, and immune system strength, creating a virtuous cycle of improved well-being that can help preserve your independence and joie de vivre well into your later years. If this video helped you better understand what's happening with your body and how simple dietary changes can dramatically improve your urological health, imagine what our other videos can do for your overall well-being. Subscribe to the channel right now and join thousands of people who have already transformed their relationship with their bodies. Here you'll find more than just medical information. You'll find understanding, practical solutions, and a community that knows exactly what you're going through. Click subscribe, activate notifications, and together let's build a life with less worry and more well-being. Your health deserves this attention. And remember, while these dietary approaches have shown remarkable results for many people over 60, they work best as part of a comprehensive approach to urological health that includes proper hydration, regular emptying of your bladder, good hygiene practices, and regular checkups with your healthcare provider. The power to reduce your risk of painful urinary tract infections is literally on your plate, and it's never too late to start making these simple yet powerful changes. Let me know in the comments which of these foods you'll be adding to your shopping list this week, and if you found other natural approaches that have helped your urinary health, please share them to help others on their journey to better health.